Over to you.
All right, thanks a lot, Maggie. Well, you would think that bringing up the Great Depression would be, well, depressing in our current tough economy, but some companies are actually looking for inspiration from America's toughest financial time. CBS News correspondent Bianca Solorzano reports.
Brother, can you spare a dime?
Food lines, business closings, shanty towns, the iconic images of the nation's darkest economic crises of the 1930s. But in today's tough times, some folks are finding the Great Depression pays. Andrew Schaefer began designing his Depression-themed greeting cards in October as banks were being bailed out and Americans plunged deeper into recession.
We just see a lot of doom and gloom in the media. The cards actually take that straight on. They tackle the issue. They say, hey, look, things are not as bad as they could be, or they're not as bad as they were in the 1930s.
Schaefer says his sales have doubled since introducing the Depressing Times line because his cards send a message about the world today.
It's about getting back to basics and about what matters to people.
Oh, I'm putting on the top hat, tying up a white tie.
Designer John Patrick has also struck pay dirt with his spring 2009 line, aptly called American Gothic, which has brought the Dust Bowl to the runway.
It kind of has this very vintagey, romantic, happy feeling. People also want a lot of bit of that now. So you put it on, and it almost is like a pick-me-up.
We see that in times of prosperity, people will oftentimes look forward, and in times of economic downturn, as we're seeing right now, that there's a tendency to reflect back on the past.
While Depression-themed trends may be chic, at least one item created at the height of the Depression is still thriving. Monopoly, started in 1935, still has plenty of people playing with money. As toy sales slipped 3% last year, board games like Monopoly made strong profits, up 6% in 2008. More than 200 million sets of Monopoly have already been sold, and Hasbro says today the game is more relevant than ever.
And at the end of the day, I mean, there's always a lot of fun to be had with playing with large stacks of money, and for a moment just pretending that you're rich and that you have it in your power to buy all of these buildings and these estates.
I mean, at a time when this is so hard to come by, you get to hold a little bit.
Exactly.
Buddy, can you spare a dime?
Bianca Solorzano, CBS News, New York.
Who doesn't love Monopoly? But it's interesting because none of us picked it as our favorite childhood board game. Ladies first. Maggie, what did you pick?
Scrabble. Still my favorite board game. Still play it. I always loved vocabulary.